You can't abandon, you can't delegate by abdication. You have to delegate by giving systems. So duplicating yourself, figuring out what you did that was right, and then teaching that to somebody else so they can do what was right. Hey.
Hey.
I was just thinking, you know the biggest problem I think I had in practice?
What?
I'm not saying you, but when we started getting big in Pennsylvania, we started having people working for us, and we didn't really have our systems all written out. And then we would like leave the practice for a period of time, go on vacation, whatever. Then we'd come back and I'd spend like weeks trying to fix everything that went wrong when we were gone.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have the systems in place, we didn't have the training. We weren't training on a regular basis.
Right.
We eventually corrected that and started doing that. That solved the problem. But that's a problem I hear guys doing or having all the time. They start to get successful and then they stop going in the clinic and then the clinic starts to flounder.
Yeah. I think it probably just comes down to systems. We always talk about systems. Without systems, it doesn't work. But I think more importantly is the idea that we had that was because they're standing next to us so much, how did they not remember everything that we do?
Right.
Because they watch us all the time. And I think the first couple of times that happened, it was like, I don't actually understand how you didn't do the same thing as me because I thought you watched me all the time. When the reality is they're not watching you all the time and they're not thinking that they're going to have to do what you're doing. Exactly.
And that's the big mistake that I see a lot of people make. They just assume, well, I can do it, so somebody else should figure it out.
And what does Jerry Seinfeld say? Or is it Jerry or is it George? When you assume.
Oh, I don't know. What does he say?
You make an ass out of you and me.
Well, that wasn't George. That was an old saying.
I heard that. Jerry Seinfeld.
No, I heard that in grade school.
I know it from Seinfeld.
Yeah, but that's true. You can't abandon, you can't delegate by abdication. You have to delegate by giving systems. So duplicating yourself, figuring out what you did that was right, and then teaching that to somebody else so they can do what was right. You know, a lot of that also involves teaching the outcome that you're trying to achieve. Like not even knowing the outcome. One of the mistakes I see a lot of chiropractors make, they'll go to a marketing event and their goal is to try to get people to sign up to come in to get an exam. And they try to sign them up for care. They start talking about how they can fix them and how and they lose credibility when they do that, and it doesn't work. There's actually a sequence that works when you're trying to do marketing to sales, you know, flow into the office, conversion, and then retention. There's a sequence you got to follow. If you go out gradient, if you start doing it too fast and going for the goal at the end too fast, that never works. Never works.
Yeah. Well, take it back to the what you were talking about planning for when you go away. You know, when I was a physical therapist, if we took a week off, we had to write out everything with every single patient what the other PT had to do. We had to review it with them before we left.
Yeah.
And Tricia, a school teacher, this is even crazier. A school teacher has to do a lesson plan every single Sunday and have it on file, just in case they call in sick that week, even if they never call in sick. So imagine if you're teaching like 32 weeks out of the year, whatever they teach, maybe 40, they have to write that many lesson plans and put it on file just in case they get sick. Is that insane?
Yeah.
But there's the concept here. I'm sure it's in a lot of other professions, but it's like, hey, I'm not going to be here. So therefore I need to look ahead and I need to make sure everything is documented that needs to be done and give it to somebody else. But the mistake we made was, well, they stand next to us all the time, don't they get it?
Yeah.
And so many doctors, when I talk to them, they make the same mistake. I can't take more than a few days off because nobody knows what they're doing.
Well, just look at your profession, being a head injury therapist. The patient's in a coma. They're not going to be able to say, "Oh, this is where we left off."
Yeah.
You know,
the outpatient therapist even the outpatient therapist had to do it because how do you work with somebody if somebody never tells you where they left off? You know what I mean?
Exactly. Which is what I was getting to. I mean, what we did for our documentation system to make it so basic and so generic and so part of the treatment that they can't go forward without having it be completed.
Yeah.
And having a concept of team meeting, which I think we're the only ones that taught that. Team meeting was, people came to see our clinic back in Pennsylvania. We copied that idea from you as a physical therapist working with head injury patients because it was a team of clinicians.
I worked on a team for like 13 years.
Occupational therapist, cognitive therapist, speech therapist, physical therapist, which was you, and then the physiatrist who was supervising them all.
And the nurse.
And the nurse. We took that exact concept, duplicated it, put it into these clinics so that everybody was on the same page so that you never end up with a situation where like, Mary's not in today. I don't know what she was doing with her patients. Actually, it's a team effort and everybody knows where everybody's at all times.
Yep.
It makes it so much easier to run, and it makes it easier for the owner to step away and maybe even open a second practice because they know that concept is working and carrying on even if they're not there.
Yep.
That's what I was thinking about when I was thinking about those mistakes.
Yeah.
How much we've changed that.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Yeah.